I am the living legend of hair loss, the true alpha male. I, with an axe in my hand, can out-chop Paul Bunyan. I don't care how big the tree is. I don't care how large the forest is. I am in control. The reason you're watching this video is because you read the title. You said 38-and-a-half-year-old man, receding hairline, beard. Let's check this out. This is something I want to see. That's what you internalized when you saw that in the thumbnail. Let's process this. It is truth that in real time today, as I'm shooting this video, it is October 20th, 2019. When's my birthday? You all know it. Say it with me. April 20th, 1981. Therefore, it's been 6 months since my 38th birthday. I'm now a year and a half away from turning 40. With that being said, a lot of your inspiration watching this video is to kind of gauge, well, what does a guy's hairline look like as he's pushing 40? I'm making this video to help you determine that. And ultimately what I'm presenting to you is this hairline that you see is pretty typical for a 38-year-old man. Now, I'm not here to say that I have some kind of severe receding hairline. I'm not here to tell you that I've got like diffuse thinning, major thinning going on. I'm not here to say that. But I do have a hairline that goes back some. Not quite what we'd say the Norwood 3, where it's just the bar right there. And it is thinner on top. And it's especially obvious as my hair is going out from the Zero Guard buzz cut from a few weeks ago. Which is why I'm actually thinking I can get away with maybe something like a 1.5 or a number 2 guard. And just do that once a week. That's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. But there you go. And of course with the beard, with a nice full beard here. So there you go. As you watch this, you're younger than me obviously. You think, I wonder if I'll still have that much hair by the time I'm 38. What you should really be processing right now is this. At what point will it be okay for you to have a hairline like this? Or worse? Because at some point, you can't assume that you're never gonna go bald. You have to assume that you will be. People watch my channel with hopes of me giving them some kind of guarantee they're never gonna go bald. I mean, maybe I can accurately predict you won't go bald before the age of 35, or so on. I can get it based on a good, if you look at a photo of yourself at age 1, that's often a projection of you at age 35. So like, I can do certain things like that, but there's no guarantee that you're never going to go bald or at least start receding or whatever it is. And even if it starts, it doesn't mean it's gonna go on. I mean, in theory, my hairline's been receding since, I guess, 21. But now I'm almost 40 and I still have this much. So what I wanna encourage you is to not get caught up in thinking, I want some kind of guarantee that I'm never gonna go bald. Because ultimately, if that's what you're looking for, there's no age where you're gonna be okay if you keep that mindset. Now, granted, as you get older, your priorities change, your actual life begins, you start developing your skills and becoming an attractive male even beyond how you physically look. Because that's the secret I keep telling everybody. You can't know that when you're a young man. But when you've lived enough life like I have, you know good and well that what makes a man attractive is a lot less about his looks and a lot more about his abilities and his confidence and his skill set. But a young man can't hear that as truth. A young man hears that as a lie. Unless you're a young man who is intelligent, especially emotionally intelligent, and you can accept that there's something called a paradigm shift. There's how you perceive yourself, there's how you think others perceive you, and then there's how others actually perceive you. And that third category is ultimately the theme of this channel. So there you go. Here's a man who's 38 and a half as of today, year and a half away from turning 40. And you may be tempted to think, okay, well, let me assess to see, I wonder how much hair he'll have at 40. It won't matter to me. I don't care. Hair is not part of my identity. You would think that I proved that when I shaved all my hair off a few weeks ago. But ultimately, I do this to help you, to mentor you. If you have any comments, you can put them right here. I might make a video in response. If you watch this video because you wanted to see what an average man's hairline looks like at age 38. Granted, there's guys who go bald by 20, and there's guys who have zero hair loss by my age. I've got a little bit of receding and a little bit of thinning. I think this is pretty average and predictable. And there you go, there's visual. And if it helps, because I think it does, one of my theories, you're less likely to go bald younger if you are of Asian descent or Native American, which Native American, what I believe is ancient Asian DNA anyway. My mother is, quote, half Mexican. So one of my grandmothers was a first generation Mexican American, meaning her grandparents were born in Mexico, southern Mexico, Michoacan, Mexico, way down south where they featured on Breaking Bad. That's like where they make all the drugs in that part of Mexico. So, you know, a decent amount of my DNA is that, and my 3 uncles on that side are all in their 60s and have full heads of hair. So I do believe that if it weren't for that, maybe I would have balded more aggressively. I think that helped kind of slow down the process. So I think that's important too. So if you've been interested in what I just said about those things, check out my other videos, because I'm the only one on the internet telling you, hey, there's some ways to accurately predict if you're gonna go bald and when. Again, there's no guarantee, because you could be like Johnny Cash, pretty much have a little bit of a receding hairline, but not until years away from death did you just suddenly go bald. So there's no guarantee, but we can predict it, and that's what this channel is about. But ultimately, I'm reinforcing that your identity is not your hair. Your identity is knowing who you are, what you're good at, what you're bad at, that you can make people laugh, just like at the beginning of these videos. I am the true alpha male, the living one. That's all a joke. But so many of my viewers have so little of a sense of humor, they don't get that that's a complete joke. So I do that mainly to remind everybody, be funny, because it's important. And funny is not simply slapstick humor, whatever it is. Sometimes the best humor is when you make it seem like you're not telling a joke, but you actually are. Because that actually is more intelligent, and I would actually say a more mature version of comedy. And I think for you, becoming a man, adopting your man mindset, I think that's important. So there you go. Your comments belong right here. So if you're tuning in for the bonus footage, I had to make that video out of obligation, but ultimately now I'm gonna reveal my true heart to you in this video, because I have to play that character, to get people to watch the videos and help them realize that hair doesn't matter and really it's about your identity. That's the whole shtick of this channel. But beyond that, the actual Nick Shell, what does he actually care about? No one really cares, do they? But I make this bonus footage of this video to talk about that for a moment. I am planning on taking a hiatus from making new videos about hair, really about any new videos on this channel at all. Here's my goal. As you know, I've released a few songs on here on this channel. That one, Buzz It Off, which honestly, that was meant as a joke. It was supposed to be like, I thought, what if I created like a theme song for my channel? Well, that was the whole point of that. And I did it 1.5 years ago. I just re-released it now that I got more subscribers. It was never meant to be taken seriously, but most people, they authentically like it, not as a commodity or not as a joke, but like they actually liked it. So then I thought, well, let me just throw my other song out that I wrote 1.5 years ago to see if people would like it too, even though it has nothing to do with hair loss. And yes, it was well received. Now granted, these songs are not getting anywhere near as many views as the stupid hair videos that I constantly make. But I noticed something. The people who took the time to watch those songs that I wrote, they authentically liked them. And it was a confirmation for me, because when you're playing guitar and writing songs and singing and recording it, you don't know if it's actually good. Again, that perception thing, here's what I think of my song, here's what I think people think of my song, and here's what people actually think of my song, and people actually like the song. So that definitely inspired me when I re-released those songs. So I've actually been working on a newer song, which is actually going to be a sequel to the Maybe It's a Dream song, which is talking about a man who was starting to go through an existential crisis a couple years ago. I started writing that song actually years ago, around the age of 35. And then this newest song I just finished is about coming out of that existential crisis, which is more common for men than women. So the song is, I think I've got a title for it, if I'm not mistaken. Tripping on Existence is the name of it. I'm really excited about this song. And this week, after I shot a bunch of videos, I went into the garage And for the first time, I played this song all the way through. I got all the words figured out, the bridge, everything. And I'm doing this song, you know, I played it through, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 times in the garage, you know, trying to keep my family asleep. They can't hear me in the garage, you know. And so I felt pretty good about it. And I was like, I kind of ad-libbed this falsetto, which is like, ah, you know, that sort of thing, but making it sound good along with some of the chords. Just kind of just, the song was finishing being created. And very next day, I'm coming home and I'm about to shut the garage door, and the neighbor runs up to me and he says, hey, I just want to let you know, I was taking a walk last night and I heard this awesome song and I didn't know where it was coming from. I walked up to your garage door and I stood outside your garage door the whole time and I listened to it, and I was so amazed by that. So he's telling me that he wants to like professionally record it. He apparently he's recorded a song back when he was in California. It got some airplay, but he wants to take my song and like do a studio production of it and ideally put it on iTunes. That's how much he liked the song, simply from standing outside my driveway and hearing me do this randomly at 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday or whatever it was. So very inspired. So I decided, you know what, I am going to not spend time making videos this week or the next or however long it takes. I'm going to really get this song figured out, perfectly be able to perform it live in one take, hit record, and then release it on here. Once I'm at that point, then I'll be ready to start releasing more videos. It's not to say that I'm not going to shoot other videos in the midst of that. Like I'm sure I'll do one, here's what a beard looks like after 6 weeks. Oh, I decided to take this down to a 1.5 guard or whatever it is. I'll still do those. They just won't be released in real time. For me, I need to really focus my energy and creative focus on getting this song released. And I think that's probably what I need to start doing more often is, you know, I've been writing songs and playing guitar and singing since I was a teenager. And that's really what I enjoy doing. And now that I've got an audience, even with, you know, 8,000 subscribers or whatever it is, even if only a couple hundred watch it, if you're authentically liking that, actually that like makes me think, wow, like this is the thing I actually care about. And keep this in mind. The whole thing, even this, right? You know, all this silly stuff that I do. You know, I put on the shades and tell you I'm the living legend, all that silly stuff. Is that me? Okay, it's a creative outlet that I do to connect with an audience, but that's not who I really am. And I know that's confusing because I just talked about that jingle, about the song, about the buzz it off. That was really kind of, not as a commodity, what's the word? It's when you do something that's kind of like just for fun and you're not being taken seriously. That's more of what that was. But people actually like my music. And I love creating music, and I love being able to sing about something that actually means something to me. It's not this generic song like, oh, we should all love each other and hold hands, or you know, just another generic love song. No, this is something an actual person's going through, you know. And so I definitely want to write the follow-up to that. I've got other songs that I'm working on. So I'm very excited. And final note, I'm out of here. My wife was able to get us free tickets to see Jason Isbell, who's from my home state, Alabama. And we got these free tickets at the Ryman in Nashville, where we live. We live in the Nashville, Tennessee area. And so we're gonna get to go to this concert, and I know it's gonna be so inspirational to me because one of the other songs I've got down the pipeline that I started working on is actually inspired by his style. So I'm very excited to be able to focus on that, but it means that I need to take a break from doing these videos until I get it done. It could only take a week, it could take 2 weeks, it could take 3 weeks. But step one, get the song mastered, be able to perform it live and record it and upload it here. And then after that, that's when I can work with the neighbor and get it, doing a studio version. But for right now, I want to do kind of a raw demo version like I've been releasing on here. So for those of you who stuck around for the second half of this video, I just wanted to give you a glimpse of the actual person behind the camera. All that other stuff is silly. Obviously, I don't care if I go bald. I don't care if you go bald. All I want to do is help mentor you and understand your male mindset. And ultimately, I think largely that's what my songs are going to do. They're going to speak more to a male audience than anything, but more one that's emotionally intelligent. So there you go. I'm going to disappear for a while. Thank you for your support, and I don't plan to release a new video until I've got that new song ready, Tripping on Existence. Your comments belong right here.